say we'd be better off dead. Don't feel like Satan, but I'm into them, so I try to forget it any way I can. Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 There's a woman in the night with a baby in her hand. There's an old street light near a garbage can. She puts a kid away and she's gonna get a hit. She hates her life, what she's gonna do with. There's no one a kid will ever get to school, never get to fall in love, never get to be cool. Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 Hey, how you doing out there, Guitar Heroes? All right, we got a little Neil Young from 1989, Rockin' in the Free World. Big hit for Neil, and kind of a comeback to some extent. Hadn't had any hits for a while. So another great tune by Neil. And we've got a real common, common chords that we use throughout almost the whole song. We start out with an E minor, a D, and a C. And I think that on the electric version, there's on the electric version, which is probably the one most people are familiar with. I think that's one that was on the radio. I'm going to do an E bar chord down here with the A form on the 7th fret. D, C, just sliding that bar chord down. And that's basically, the intro to it. You do that a couple of times. But if you don't feel comfortable with bar chords, you can do this way too. You can put the E minor and then just kind of do the first 3 strings so you don't get those ringing out. D, single strum. C, single strum. So same thing as the bar chord method. Okay, so standard tuning. I sang it probably a little lower than what I'd like, but hey, that made it work. Otherwise, I'd be goofing around with the capo, blah blah blah. I tried to tune down a half. No way could I get close to singing where Neil is. Okay, well then we go right into the first verse, and it's the same chords: E minor, D, and C. Now these chord changes are pretty quick. So that part makes it a little bit more challenging. There's colors on the street, D.C., red, white, and blue, D.C., people shuffling their feet, D.C., people E-minor sleeping in their shoes, D.C. So that D.C. is coming after the lyrics. Okay, then there's, I'm not sure what to call it, but it's not the same as the verse. It's something different, and he does it a couple of times with different lyrics. So it's a slightly different pace. And we go in. It's really kind of the same thing. There's a warning sign E minor on the D. Road ahead C. There's a E minor. A lot of people saying we'd be D. Better off C dead. Don't you feel like an E minor Satan, but I'm D into them. So E minor, so try to forget it any way that I can. Okay, so we got a verse, then we have that slightly different tempo on those lyrics. Then we go into the chorus, which is pretty simple. We got a G, keep on D, rockin' in the free world C. And we do a quick E minor, and then back to G. Keep on D, rockin' in the free world C. Quick E minor, G. Now, he does that 4 times. And then we go into where he's just playing like an A power chord, probably. Something. And then he goes right back into basically the intro. So we do that 4 times, and then we go back into another verse. So we'll just go through one more. There's a E minor woman in the night, D, C, with an E minor baby in her hand, D, C. There's a E minor old street light, D, C, near an E minor garbage can, D, C. And then he goes back into that other that other section, which I don't have a name for. Then we go back to the chorus. Then we do another verse, and then we do that section again with different lyrics, lots of lyrics in this. And then we finish up with, and I think it probably fades out to Rockin' in the free world. So that's pretty much it. Let's, there's not anything super complicated about it. You can make it as complicated as you want. Obviously, he had a fabulous guitar solo, blah blah blah. So let's take a look at the strumming pattern, which there's quick chord changes, so there's not a whole bunch. But at the beginning, remember, we're doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D, C. And when I get into the verse, I'm probably not pounding on that as much, but I think that's the way it goes during the verse too. So there's E minor. Colors on the street, D, C, red, white, and blue, D, C, people shuffling their feet, people sleeping in their shoes, D, C. There's a warning sign on the road ahead. There's a lot of people saying we'd be better off dead. Don't feel like Satan, but I'm into them. I try to forget any way that I can. Medium pace, and there's no pattern. If there is one, I don't know what it is. There's colors on the street, red, white, and blue. People shuffling their feet, people sleeping in their shoes. All right, there you go. Rockin' in the Free World by Neil Young. Great tune, 1989. I hope you got something out of this lesson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.